Kicking off our countdown at number 10 is the fun fact that he was once sued by Evel Knievel. The American stunt performer was not thrilled about Kanye's 2006 music video for Touch the Sky and ended up filing a lawsuit against him. If you haven't seen the music video, Kanye dressed up as him and dubbed himself as Kanye Evil in the video and did a parody on one of his most famous stunts. But Kanye put a little spin on the whole video and added a bit of sexual nature to it, which Evil criticized as vulgar. His actual thoughts on the video were, "I don't want him using my image to promote filth to the world." But in the end of the lawsuit, they ended up settling it, and after working together in a legal meeting, Evil actually said that Kanye was a really nice guy and quite the gentleman. So kind of a turn of events. They reached a settlement. All good. Up next, number 9 is he lived in China. He often talks about Chicago being his home no matter where he is in the world. I mean, he even named one of his children Chicago, so that is how much that it means to him. But when he was 10 years old, he left Chicago for a year and lived with his mom in China. He lived in Nanjing because his mom became a lecturer at a university there back in 1987 as part of her Fulbright scholarship. Kanye was young, but still remembers the culture and experiences. There's actually pictures online of his time in China, and one of them shows him using chopsticks to eat his food. I don't know why, I thought it was really cool. He's talked about this experience and said, "China was a time where me and my mom spent the most time together. We spent a year together and she used to homeschool me. We really connected there." He also admitted that he still gets really emotional whenever he goes there now, whether it's performing or travel. He just gets really emotional. Cruising into number 8 is he almost became a porn star. We all know that he has a lot of money. A lot might even be an understatement. But early on in his life, he did not have a lot of money and things were more difficult for him financially. During an interview, he once claimed that he was considering becoming a porn star as a way to make money. He actually insisted that he wasn't joking and that he was very close to going down that career path simply for financial sake. But the reason he didn't is because of the woman he was with at the time. She convinced him that it just was not a good idea. Luckily for him, he found some relief financially when his debut LP, The College Dropout, was voted Album of the Year on every music publication for him. So music saved him from becoming a porn star, basically. Moving on to number 7, he's been engaged before. I bet you didn't know that he actually had been engaged before his marriage with Kim Kardashian. He actually had a longtime girlfriend named Alexis Pfeiffer, who was a fashion designer during the time that they were together. They started dating in 2002, and it was in 2006 that they got engaged, and they were engaged for 18 months before they split. People didn't know about their breakup at first until Alexis was spotted on the red carpet without her engagement ring, and that is when the rumors started. Sources close to them said that they were having problems for a while and decided to split after going through a rough patch. But Alexis later spoke about the breakup and said that they still remain as friends and that he is the most talented person she has ever met. So there is no bad blood between them. Rolling into number 6 is the meaning behind his name. We all know him as Kanye West, but throughout the years he has had some really random name changes. In the past, we have been told to call him Yeezy, Conman, and even the Louis Vuitton Don. But I'm still telling myself that that was all just some weird joke or face. When he was born back in 1977, his parents actually named him Kanye Omari West, and there is a unique story behind his name. Kanye is actually Swahili for the only one, and his parents believe he truly went on to be that. He came from his parents Ray and Donda West. Ray was a Black Panther who worked as a photojournalist, and Donda was an English professor. Seeing as he is an only child, he really is the only one, the only Kanye West. I actually think that's so cool. I wish I had a cool meaning behind my name. Halfway through the countdown is he inspired a TV segment. Everyone gets a good laugh from some of the segments on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and apparently one of them was inspired by Kanye. When he first joined social media, his tweets were always really random, and similar to now, he was often coming at other celebrities and going off on rants. But believe it or not, some of his tweets have actually been really funny. Like the one that he tweeted saying, "I hate when I'm on a flight and I wake up with a water bottle next to me, like, oh great, now I gotta be responsible for this water bottle." That's actually funny. I wish he tweeted like that more. Jimmy Kimmel took some of his tweets and had singer Josh Groban put them into a music and sing it on his show, which turned out to be this really funny segment. But Kanye did not like it too much, and his tweets quickly turned against Jimmy. He went off on Jimmy. At number 4, we have an interesting fact about his song, Stronger. It was a massive success and still goes down as one of his most known tracks, and it might be because of Kanye's input. He is well known for his perfectionist techniques, and they seem to come in handy on this one when it came to this song. Apparently, the rapper mixed it over 50 times before he got a final edit that he was actually happy with. The amount of studio time it would take to make that happen is insane, and apparently he also worked with over 8 different engineers on it. To us, it was just a song that sold millions of copies and it was like a banger, but to him it was a lot more than that, and maybe that is why it was so successful. Alright guys, in the 3rd spot is his criminal record. He has a track record when it comes to photographers, but unless you have followed his entire career closely, you might have missed one altercation that landed with him facing assault charges. He has a criminal record filed with different offenses made against him by photographers, but one of them went a little too far. He got into a physical altercation with one of them in 2014, and he wrestled him for his camera, trying to destroy it. He even had the guy in a headlock at one point, but other paparazzi caught the whole thing on their own cameras, and it just was not a good look for Kanye. He ended up facing a misdemeanor battery charge, which he pleaded no contest to. He was placed on 24 months probation and had to do 250 hours of community service. Taking over the number 2 spot is he worked as a telemarketer. It's hard to picture one of the biggest rappers in the world working as a telemarketer. The job came for him after he dropped out of college, and truth be told, he is probably one of the most famous college dropouts in the whole world. But don't get any ideas, guys, like I should encourage you to stay in school, but I'm just saying. He had dreams of becoming a rapper, so he dropped out of school. But mama raised him right and eventually asked him for $200 in rent, which meant that he needed to start making some money. So he got a job as a telemarketer. He talked about the job during an interview and said, "I was way better than most of the people there. I could sit around and draw pictures, basically do other things while I was reading the teleprompter." We have made it to number 1, and we have He Almost Died. Some people might know the story, but I actually didn't learn about it until last year when researching for one of our other videos. He had a serious near-death experience back in 2002 when he was involved in a car crash. He was heading home after a long day at the studio when his vehicle collided with another one on the freeway. He was left with horrific injuries after the accident, his jaw being completely smashed. The injuries required him to have reconstructive surgery, which included a metal plate in his chin and wiring his mouth shut. He actually had to completely relearn how to use his mouth again. But one good thing did come from it. He asked for a drum machine to use in his hospital bed, and during the healing process he wrote his iconic song Through the Wire. Kicking off our countdown at number 10 is Nicki is transgender. If you follow her YouTube channel, then you would have seen her recent video where she decided to come out and tell the world that she is transgender. In her emotional 17-minute video, she revealed that she started her transition when she was very young. She explained that she started wearing women's clothing and growing her hair out when she was just around 7 or 8 years old. And then when she turned 14, she started taking hormones and then fully transitioned by the age of 19. Now, you're probably wondering how a 14-year-old possibly got their hands on hormones. And I'm going to explain that in the next number. Once she came out to her YouTube following and the rest of the world, she's been able to inspire and be a leading lady in the LGBTQ community. Moving on to number 9 is she used to take growth stoppers. No one really knew just how tall she was because in her YouTube video, she's always sitting down doing her makeup. But when she recently went on the Ellen show, people were shocked to see how tall she was. She is 6'2", and in her coming out video, she said she was actually meant to be taller, but was given growth stoppers when she was younger. This is how she was able to get put on hormones to help her transition, which I mentioned in number 10, and I said I would explain it. This is me explaining it. She explained and said, "I got my hormones because I'm a tall bitch. I kept on growing and they were like, let's tone that down. I got growth stoppers because I was supposed to be a lot taller than I am today." Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know that growth stoppers was like a real thing that people actually used, but she is very tall. I didn't notice until I saw a picture of her next to Ellen, and man is she tall. although I'm pretty sure Ellen's kind of short. Next up at number 8 is her brother passed away. She's only 26 years old and has experienced a lot of tragedy in her life, which her fans are slowly learning about. In 2017, she announced that one of her brothers, Makai, was diagnosed with lymphatic cancer at just age 13. In 2018, she shared the heartbreaking news that her brother had passed away from the disease. He went through chemotherapy and radiation, which put him into remission for a while, but the cancer soon came back. The beauty guru admitted that it was the darkest time of her life. She talked about it with Glamour and said, "This is the black page in my life." After his passing, she honored his memory on her Instagram with a post and wrote that he was incredibly proud of her YouTube channel. She also posted a rainbow-themed video on her YouTube page in hopes that it would cheer up those in some need of color and fun, as she said. In spot number 7 is she is a professional makeup artist. Keyword, professional. Some of the biggest beauty YouTubers on the platform right now are self-taught makeup artists who just started by doing their makeup at home on themselves. But for Nicki, she started her YouTube channel because she knew that she had a talent and skill, which was a result of years of hard work as a professional makeup artist. She enrolled in a professional makeup course after 2 years of making beauty videos for YouTube, which led her to join Pascal Tesser's colorful agency back in 2011. The agency actually helped her secure jobs for big magazines like Marie Claire. And then in 2013, she became the head makeup artist for the RTL5 show I Can Make You a Supermodel. After realizing that makeup could be her full-time career, she became a freelance artist in 2014, and that is when she started to dedicate more time to her YouTube videos. And here we are. Rolling into number 6 is what inspired her to start her YouTube channel in the first place. Everyone experiences different moments in their lives that strike them as something inspirational. For Nicki, that moment came when she was sick at home back in 2008 and spent one weekend binge watching The Hills in bed. It was the first time that she was seeing the show, and she says it inspired her to get involved in the beauty community. She explained and said, "It was the first time I ever saw the show, and I immediately fell in love with the girl's style. For 2 days, I drooled over Lauren's beautiful eyeliner and Heidi's gorgeous hair. From that moment on," she said, "a seed was planted, and when she started feeling better, she decided to look on YouTube on how to recreate the makeup looks from the show. That's when she saw a video from Sandy Gold, who recreated Lauren's look with drugstore makeup, and from there, she was hooked." Nicki said that's when she knew she wanted to do this, and that is how Nicki Tutorials was born. We're at the halfway mark with the fact that she was bullied. One of the reasons why her fans love her so much is because she's always been very open and relatable from the very start of her channel. She's been open about the fact that she was bullied growing up and still feels some insecurity about her weight. But one thing she revealed is that some of her former bullies regret their past actions now that she's become incredibly successful. That's usually how it goes. During an interview with Glamour, she said that her classmates started behaving differently towards her when she started getting recognition online. She said, "After years of belittling, I suddenly got respect, which of course I liked." Girl, I don't blame ya. That is probably the best feeling. Trying to be your friend now that you all out there and famous and stuff. Cruising into the number 4 spot is her real name and her original YouTube name. I don't think it's shocking for people to hear that on her birth certificate it does not read Nicki Tutorials as her birth name. Her real name is Nicki DeJagger, but came up with Nicki Tutorials when she wanted to start her YouTube channel. But that was also not the first name that she used on her channel. Her original YouTube name wasn't all that professional. Let's just say that. If we're being honest though, we all have a username or like an old email from our past that we'd probably like to forget. I know I do. She opened up to Teen Vogue about her first YouTube channel name and said it was something like Glamour Girl X3. She did admit that there was a point she realized if she wanted to be taken seriously, then she would have to change the YouTube name. She said, "Since I knew beauty videos were called tutorials, I thought, why not just take my name and put tutorials after it? Easy enough. Who would have thought?" Alright guys, at number 3 we have She Exposed Ellen DeGeneres. A lot of celebrities have been throwing shade at Ellen with different allegations of her not being as nice as she appears to be on TV. But all of this started after Nicki went on her show and revealed that the experience was cold and distant compared to what she thought that it would be. She revealed that Ellen didn't even say hi to her before the interview and claimed that she didn't even have a bathroom to use while she was there. Nicki said that where her dressing room was, she was told that she was not allowed to use the bathroom closest to her because it was reserved for the Jonas Brothers. I would probably sneak in there if I knew their bathroom was right there. She went online and said she thought it was funny afterwards because she checked YouTube to check out like the views, and the Jonas Brothers only got 2 million views on their interview, where she got 8 million views. So to her, it was like a, take that, you reserved a bathroom for them and not me? Pretty sure that's illegal. I mean, I feel like you should give everyone a bathroom. And at number 2 is she is engaged. Unlike other celebrities, she is not one to flaunt her personal life all over her platform. She's always kept her YouTube channel very professional and focuses her content around her makeup tutorials. But behind the scenes, she's been dating a guy named Dylan Drossers ever since 2018. But then in August 2019, they went on a vacation together to Italy where he popped the big question. Apparently, he proposed with a stunning band made of heart-shaped diamonds. So cute. News broke on Instagram news outlets, which commemorated their engagement, and she wrote yes all over them to confirm the news for us. Congratulations. Sniping the number 1 spot is the time that she was robbed by Too Faced. You might have heard about this scandal when a makeup brand basically robbed her of her hard work and money after doing a brand deal with her. Back in 2016, a huge controversy came to surface after they partnered with her for a collaboration. They released a limited edition makeup palette called The Power of Makeup, which was a huge success until someone in the beauty community revealed that Too Faced underpaid Nicki by a lot. A year after the palette was released, Jeffree Star publicly called out the Too Faced co-founder Jared Bladino for underpaying Nicki. Nicki was paid about $50,000 for the collaboration, which might seem like a pretty sweet gig for people like us, but Too Faced made an estimated $84 million from it. Unfortunately for her, she did sign a contract, so nothing could be done about it, and she wasn't even able to discuss it because the contract was in place. So she basically just had to shut her mouth and take the 50 grand, which is a lot to me, but out of 84 million. Beginning our countdown list, number 10 is she is afraid of heights. That is right, she is a gal who wears ridiculously high heels, but actually has a real case of acrophobia, which is the fear of heights. Like many other fears, there really isn't an explanation. It's kind of just there. People also thought she was afraid of escalators at one point, but it seems that it just kind of tied in with her having a problem with heights. Back in 2011, at the NBA Players Association Gala, the rapper had to take an escalator down a floor, but for some reason she couldn't seem to do it. It was to a point where she actually had the paparazzi come upstairs to her for pictures because, let's be honest, a girl needs her photo op. Her high heels also didn't help the situation, so height just all around is not on her side, especially on this night. At number 9, we have the fact that she kissed Madonna. This isn't all that shocking because Madonna seems to kiss like a lot of people. I mean, she's the queen of pop, and even celebrities fangirl over her. I wasn't aware that this kiss ever went down. Maybe you were and you forgot, but it took place at the MTV VMA Music Awards back in 2018. And the only reason people would have known about it is because Nicki gushed about it on her Instagram stories that night. Nicki was wishing her a happy belated birthday. I guess Madonna had turned 60 just a few days prior, and apparently she was still in the birthday spirit. Unexpectedly, Madonna just goes in for a kiss on the lips, and Nicki captures the whole thing on camera before screaming with excitement.
Miss Madonna, I love you so much. Kisses and hugs. Y'all, show her love, y'all.
I mean, I would probably scream too. I wouldn't mind a kiss from Madonna. Coming into the number 8 spot is a fact that might surprise you a little bit. She is a good cook. I don't know why this one shocked me so much. I guess I just didn't think she spent her free time in the kitchen. No disrespect, I just didn't realize how seriously she took her cooking game. On Thanksgiving back in 2016, the rapper posted a picture to her Instagram of a meal that she had prepared, which included some island staples like kingfish and plantains. It actually looks really good. She also made some other dishes that evening, which included oxtail, fried chicken, mac and cheese, yum, and curry chicken. That all sounds like delicious food coma to me. I guess our girl can throw down in the kitchen just as well as she can get down in the studio. And I'm kind of impressed. Sliding into the number 7 spot, we have Nicki is obsessed with Judge Judy. We all have a celebrity crush or a guilty pleasure like a TV show that we just cannot stop watching. Well, for the rapper, it is Judge Judy in both cases. She expressed her love for the judge on Twitter and tweeted out, "Hands down, the baddest bitch on this planet is none other than Judge Judy. I wish she could be my BFF. think maybe I'll ever meet her one day. She also confessed to her obsession during an interview with Billboard magazine, saying that she is addicted to the Courtroom series. She spoke about it and said, Judge Judy is just straightforward, but she doesn't realize that she's really, in her next life, a comedian. Honestly, I could not agree more. She is actually so funny without even trying. My best friend and I used to live together and we legit watched Judge Judy at dinner like every day. That show is funny. I love Judge Judy. I would like to meet her too. At number 6, we're talking about her favorite snack. If you're a big fan of hers, you've probably wondered what her go-to snack is. Turns out it's chocolate, but not just any chocolate. She loves Kit Kat. During an interview, she revealed that it's the treat that she cannot give up, and following closely behind is Twix. It's not just like a nighttime snack though. She once admitted that she had Kit Kats for breakfast. She tweeted to her fans, "Kit Kat for breakfast, shake my head." Fans thought it was hilarious and loved that she was keeping it real. It's so easy to convince ourselves that everyone in Hollywood is on these strict diets all the time, so the fact that she's out here eating chocolate bars for breakfast gives me hope. I mean, I ate pickles for breakfast on the weekend. I don't know what's worse. Probably the pickles. Halfway through our countdown, at number 5 is she has 2 real tattoos. She's dabbled in the fake tattoos on a few different occasions to add to her spunky wardrobe and accessories, but she has 2 real tattoos and one of them is more recent. Her first tattoo is 6 Chinese characters that are inked vertically down her left arm. The Chinese words translate to "God is always with me." She got it when she was 16 years old and said during interviews that she regrets it. She also said that her mother had threatened to disown her at the time when she saw that she tattooed her arm without permission. My dad said the same thing. But that did not stop her from getting another one down the road. Back in 2018, she got the word Barbie tattooed on her wrist in the same pink writing that you would find on a real Barbie box. So if you thought that it was fake, surprise! It's real. I've actually never noticed this tattoo before because it's just so small and cute. I like it though. Going hand in hand with our last point, number 4 is she is a Christian. Now I know that tattoos don't necessarily go hand in hand with religion or the Christian church, but the meaning behind her tattoo does. Like I mentioned, her first tattoo translates to "God is always with me." During interviews, she revealed that being a Christian was always a big part of her family. She was born in Trinidad in 1982 and both of her parents at the time were gospel singers. She also admits that she actually listens to gospel music more than any other music genre, which probably isn't expected coming from a rapper. Nicki has never been pushy about her religious beliefs, but she's always been really open about them with her fans, which I think we can respect. In the 3rd spot is the fun fact that she has her own Barbie doll. I always knew that the rapper calls herself Barbie and often dresses up to look like one, but I had no idea that she actually had a Barbie that was designed after her. The toy company Mattel crafted a Nicki Minaj Barbie doll for charity back in 2011. It was a one-of-a-kind limited edition only meant for charity during that time. Nicki spoke about it at the Billboard's Women in Music event and said that it is a complete dream come true for her, as it would be for anyone else. I mean, I would love a Barbie. She said, "For me, this is a very major moment because it shows you can come from nothing and still be a force in the main world, a businesswoman, and hopefully a mogul one day." The doll was available for auction and all proceeds were donated to the Project Angel Food, an organization that provides food for men, women, and children affected by HIV and AIDS. Taking over our number 2 spot is she got involved with WWE. Well, let me start off by saying no, she was not fighting. It was actually her music that made it into the franchise. Nicki is badass, but can you imagine her trying to wrestle in a WWE SmackDown with her pink wigs and extremely long nails? I just can't see it happening. It was back in 2004 that one of her verses in Don't Mess With was included as the entrance vocals for Victoria's big WWE entrance. The song had verses from Nicki, Loose Star, and Scaff B. It was also included in their Theme Addict WWE The Music Volume 6. You won't find it under her name though. She was actually credited for it as Nicki Minaj, which was her stage name at that time. Finally, at number 1, she has been fired from 15 jobs. There are tons of stories about famous people struggling between jobs before getting their big breaks. And even though we know her as one of the world's most successful female rap artists, she was once working regular part-time jobs that she could not seem to keep. In my part 1 video, I shared that she once worked at Red Lobster but was fired for hooking her friends up with too much free stuff. But that was not the only job that she was fired from. Nicki opened up during an interview and said that she was fired from at least 15 jobs for similar reasons. Her words were, "I had a bad attitude." Story of my life. Some of the jobs she was fired from were administrative assistant in customer service and an office manager for a Wall Street business. Well, at least music worked out for her.